All right, welcome back to episode 3 of our Double Coverage podcast. Like always, my name is Mason Peterson. I'm joined by Alex Keller. So, obviously we're gonna be talking about the NBA today, but we're gonna start with something different. We're gonna start with the big noon kickoff in college football. So, Ohio State and Texas open up week 1, and it was just announced that it is going to be a noon game by Big Noon Kickoff, which is insane just because of these two teams were in the semifinals last year. This was the only team Ohio State was like competing against in the playoffs last year. So it's just kind of crazy that it's Big Noon Kickoff, but although I mean it is the deal they have with Fox, but just like I just feel like Fox is just taking away the potential atmosphere of a night game, just all that different stuff. But like here's the deal they had. So it was like Ohio State's original deal with Fox was part of like a larger $7 billion media rights deal with the Big Ten Conference, agreed to with CBS, Fox, and NBC. And then as part of this agreement, Fox secured the rights to broadcast Big Ten games, including Ohio State's, during their Big Noon Saturday time slot, featuring matchups at noon. The time slot has seen Ohio State games featured frequently, leading to both fan frustration with early times and financial benefits. So obviously, I read that from Google clearly, but it's now obviously it was a deal at the time, like you couldn't pass up if you're the Big Ten, but it's starting to get really overused. Now I understand it's Big Noon Kickoff, but you can still have the games at night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like what you said with the atmosphere and everything of like the night games. I feel like every college fan would rather have their team play a night game
Yeah.
because, like you said, the atmosphere is so much different. I feel like it's more hype. It's like watching the NFL. Like, you would rather have your team play that 8 o'clock game because
Yeah.
that's supposed to be like game of the week or whatever. So, yeah, no, I agree. I think what they do with the Big Noon Kickoff is like it's kind of cool, but at the same time, like you said, which like I don't really have too much more to add because you kind of took the words out of my mouth. If they can keep that, but still play the games later, I think that would be a good system. But to have them start at noon is like I don't know. I feel like they could definitely handle that better.
For example, all my Penn State fans out there, who would you rather play a whiteout game against? Washington or Iowa or Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan? But the college football is Fox is just completely taking those away. When Ohio State played at Penn State this past year, it was Penn State's attendance record at 111,000. Imagine that being a whiteout at night, dude.
That would
Have been
insane.
insane. Yeah. So like just the Big Noon Kickoff in general is just taking away so much of the like because Ohio State has one of the greatest atmospheres in college football, and putting it at noon is just there's just a different feeling to a game at noon than a game at night in the shoe. You know what I mean? Like
No, I agree.
I think it was 2022. Ohio State opened the year against Notre Dame. Week 1 at 7:30 or 8, that place was electric. And then I think it was that same year or the year before that they played Penn State at home at 8 o'clock at night because it was the red out, the scarlet out, and the place was electric. So to take that away is beyond me. And Fox has made it clear that I think every Ohio State game this year is going to be a Big Noon Kickoff. So now,
Which
obviously,
which kind of
go
sucks
ahead.
for you as
Yeah,
a Ohio State fan. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to the Ohio State Texas game, Week 1. I was
Oh,
kind
that's
of
awesome.
yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a night game, but it's just I don't know. I mean, it's more in my opinion, it's more convenient when you're going to the game. It's more convenient when it's a 12 p.m. game, but I would
Hmm.
so much rather it be an 8 p.m. game. I would set
Totally.
all the convenience aside and go to an 8 p.m. game. But so Ohio State's representative, the same guy who tried to ban planting flags in Ohio Stadium, just a complete moron. Anyway, so I'm seeing this. So his name's Tex Fisher from Youngstown. He has proposed a legislation that would prevent a state university in Ohio from competing in a game before 3:30 p.m. if both teams are ranked in the top 10 of the AP poll. And obviously, Ohio State and Michigan would be exempt because that game's always at noon. I mean, so this Tex Fisher guy, obviously, what he tried to do with the flag, I don't really like him because I just feel like that's a little babyish. Like that,
Yeah.
I kind of got embarrassed from that.
Yeah,
from
I completely agree.
But I mean, I like that. Now,
No,
obviously,
I do too. I think it's
right,
a good idea.
if you any matchup within the top 10 should be a night game. Like who so the two night ABC, I know the two opening nights is, I think it's Notre Dame and Miami. I think they're week 1, and then I forget who the other game is, but dude, I think Big Noon is starting to get a little ridiculous. Now, obviously, it was too much money to pass up on. I don't blame them for signing the deal, but I just don't think that they expected it to get this out of hand. So, I mean, there's not much really else to say except Big Noon sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you said, not too much more to say. I mean, like you said, it's getting out of hand a little bit, and like the money's also, obviously the money's awesome, and they know it's not like one of those things where, well, let's take the money and we might lose a couple viewers, couple thousand, whatever. They're not going to lose viewers because people are going to watch their team play regardless of the time. So, I mean, it's a smart move for them to take that deal and get the money, but then at the same time, it's just like we have to deal with the unfortunate fact that Big Noon's just kind of taking over now.
Yeah, I was also gonna add two more things. So I don't know if you watched Ohio State's first playoff game last year against Tennessee, when
I don't
Tennessee
think I did.
fans had to take over Neyland North. That place was insane. How do you watch that game and not even think twice about putting Ohio State and Texas at prime time? I don't even know how you just boom, Big Noon kickoff. We are still 4 months out, and it's already scheduled. Why not? And now I understand there's already 2 games at night, but you can move them back for Ohio State and Texas.
Yep.
Like I said, we're 4 months out. You still have time to adjust schedules, but I don't know. And then college game day, because I would imagine college game day is going to be at Ohio State and Texas, because it's Lee Corso's last ever college game day. And Big Noon, I mean, they're just gonna. I mean, they're not gonna ruin it, but it's just gonna. It's just, I don't know. But Lee Corso, his first ever headgear pick was Brutus the Buckeye. So I'd imagine his last ever one will be Brutus the Buckeye, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Big Noon Kickoff takes some away from it, just because of. But yeah, I mean, that's my overall view on Big Noon Kickoff. I think it's getting a little out of hand for all teams. Ohio State, I'm also speaking for Penn State as well. I'm also speaking for Michigan, Oregon. Obviously, Oregon, this was their first year into it, but yeah, I mean, I think they need to start putting some sort of standards to it, but until then, it's just gonna take away all of the fan experiences and all of that, because if they don't do night games like they said, they're just going to have all the Ohio State games on Big Noon Kickoff, then are we ever even going to see another night game? Why even have lights up?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it could get out of hand to the point where, like you said, where you kind of just start to see more throughout the day games, and then we barely are going to see a night game, which would suck because, like we said, night games I feel like are bring the most atmosphere, they're the most hype, because you wait all day, you watch all the other football games, and you wait all day to see this matchup, knowing it's probably, arguably the best matchup of the day, and so then after watching all this football, now you're like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready for this
Yeah.
game. And if they remove that, then we're not gonna have as much, I don't know, hype and
Yeah.
excitement around those games.
Yeah, I agree. It's just getting out of hand, and I think they should definitely try to negotiate something with this contract they have. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our Big Noon Kickoff segment of this video. So with that being said, we're just gonna hop right into the NBA playoffs, and man, is
Yep.
it getting good! We
Yeah,
got
it
Game
definitely is
7 at
good.
3:30 today between the Nuggets and Thunder. So we'll just start with that. Obviously, the head storyline is Aaron Gordon. He's done for at least a month, I think. Aaron Gordon is a crucial part to this team. His shooting has increased drastically. He is a much better shooter. You can just tell his feet are centered under him. He's actually you can just tell he's been working. But I mean, obviously Nikola Jokic is doing his thing. Remember what we had the discussion of him not performing as he should in the first round.
He shut
I think
us
he
up, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he put that narrative to bed. But yeah, and then obviously for the Thunder, you got J-Dub. He's not performing how he should.
hmm
It's just going to be a good game today.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Aaron Gordon is obviously a huge piece of the team.
Hmm.
And he's out and whatever. And like you said, he's definitely stepped up. He like we also got to remember he hit two game
Yeah.
winner like all one. I know one was a dunk, but he pretty
Hmm.
much hit a game winning three to keep them
Yep.
alive in this playoff. So it's like if it weren't for him, the Nuggets would not be where they are right now in
Oh
Game
yeah.
7. And not having him, and especially because he's a good defender, he's athletic, he's what the Nuggets need. They
Yeah, he'll
need
get you a
defense.
rebound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need a defensive rebounding player
Yep.
that's not Jokic, and especially with MPJ having his shoulder and
Yeah,
that being
that's
hurt,
tough.
and he's arguably, I can't say arguably, he's just not the same player with that shoulder. Um, so yeah, I think today it's just gonna be about who is able to step up and fill Aaron Gordon's shoes. Like we might need to see Peyton Watson come out, and he needs to be big for the Nuggets defensively and even offensively, because Aaron Gordon,
Hmm.
like we said, is a two-way player. So I personally, I hope the Nuggets win. I want the Nuggets to win.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing on the Thunder. The Thunder are a great team. I do like the Thunder. I'm rooting for the Nuggets in this one. I feel like they were the underdog going into this series. A lot of people, I mean, even us, predicted
Hmm.
that they were going to lose in like 5 or 6 games, and now we're here
Yeah.
in a Game 7. So I'm kind of rooting for the Nuggets here. I would love to see the Nuggets pull
Yeah.
it out today.
Yeah. I think if I had to choose a winner right now, I think I'd go with the Nuggets. Just even though Gordon's out, they got the experience. You got Jokic. Jamal Murray's been performing at a high level. Um, Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. He's not. I mean, obviously he can't even lift his shoulder still, but
hmm
I mean he's still getting valuable minutes in. And then you got Bubba Watson coming off the bench. That's his name, right?
Who? Peyton Watson?
Jesus, Bubba.
Yeah, I think it's Peyton Watson. Yeah.
Okay, I know there's a Bubba Watson out there somewhere, Peyton Watson, and then he's getting valuable minutes off the bench. So I think this team is very well rounded. I think they can definitely take Game 7 tonight. Obviously, Jokic has to play out of his mind
hmm
because that Thunder Arena is going to be rocking. But clearly, the Nuggets already took two games at the OKC, so we know they can. But I mean, yeah, I definitely think I got the Nuggets winning tonight.
Yeah, and I think for the Nuggets too, we kind of need to see a big game from Westbrook. I mean,
Hmm.
he's got so much experience. I got one friend, shout out Evan. He loves Westbrook. He's a Celtics fan, and obviously the Celtics are out, but so he's rooting for the Nuggets because of him. And yeah, no, I think if we can see Westbrook get a double double and shoot efficiently today, because he also has had a problem with turnovers some games too.
Hmm.
If he can clean up the turnovers when he's running the point, and he can get some boards, maybe dish the ball out, score efficiently. I don't see why the Nuggets would lose this game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously we're not sleeping on the Thunder just because they are the
Hmm
best team in the NBA when it comes record wise. But I just feel like the Nuggets. I feel like I just think they're gonna pull it off today,
Yep.
and then they'll go on to face the T Wolves, which we'll get to that in a bit. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got on the Nuggets and Thunder.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens.
I
Excuse
am
me. I'm excited to see what
three
happens here.
thirty, about an hour and 30 minutes. Will be a hour and 45. So tune in.
Yep.
So, but moving on, we got the Timberwolves ended up ultimately pulling out through the Warriors, which the storyline there is Jimmy Butler thinking he has to be the hero, not performing.
Yeah.
All he
Yeah.
needed to do was just get one game, and then he would have Curry back, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's what
And
separates. That's what. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you saw this, but after the series was officially over,
Hmm.
in an interview after the game, Draymond was asked about like, hey, if Curry was healthy, do you think you guys would win? And
Yeah.
I I personally am not a huge fan of Draymond, just by the way he like acts sometimes in games and his flagrants and his texts and whatever. But I did respect him for his answer.
Yeah.
He talked about he's like, well, I won a championship where Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love
Hmm.
got hurt,
Yep.
and you could say, well, if they weren't hurt, we could have lost. But in the moment, we just appreciate the fact that we won and didn't look at that.
Yeah.
And now being on the other side of the spectrum or whatever,
Yep.
you kind of have to be like, well, we could say if we had Steph, we would have won,
Yeah.
but that's basketball. Injuries happen.
Yeah.
So I respected him for that. I just want to put that out there. I respected Draymond's response to that question and that he didn't like whine and complain. He handled it very well. And I agree with what he said. You can't look at an injury and blame that for losing because they did have they still had Buddy Hield. They still had Jimmy Butler. And those are two good players, and they just
Yeah.
weren't performing.
Jonathan Kuminga really played well the last three games. So
Hmm
did Braden Brzezemski. He scored
Yeah.
almost a 30 ball in Game 5.
Yeah, he
But
stepped up.
going back to the Butler thing, I was saying that's what separates a superstar and an all-star is
Yep.
the fact that you got to be able to get one win there to get your superstar back, and he just couldn't do it. Now, obviously, there's more than just Jimmy Butler, but he had 10 points, I think, something like that.
Yeah. And we talk about playoff Jimmy all the time,
Yeah,
right? And about how Jimmy Butler skyrockets his performance in the playoffs. And I
yep,
don't personally feel like we saw that from him in these
nope.
playoffs.
Maybe a few games in the first series, but I mean, definitely not this series. But yeah, I mean, obviously losing Curry's bad, but I mean, all you have to do. I think they lost him in what when they were down 2-1.
I believe so, yeah.
You you had a game at home, and then you just have to win one game, and then you get Curry back, but
Hmm
they couldn't do it.
Yep.
It's, it's so I mean, this series was as lopsided as the
As the
um
what? As
but the
the
Timberwolves are in the Western Conference Finals, and they'll be playing the winner of the game today. I'm
Yep.
hoping the Timberwolves go to the finals.
Yeah, I mean Ant is such an electric player to watch, and
Yeah.
it's hard to not love him. I mean, he's a young talent. You know, people say he could be the face of the league in a couple
Hmm.
years, which I don't disagree with. I think he's incredible. Yeah, it would be really cool to see the Timberwolves go to the finals, but I will say whoever wins out of the Nuggets and Thunder will give them a run for their money. It's gonna be a tough matchup.
Yeah, but that's That's all I got for this series too. It's just another one of those quick little series, you know.
Yeah, yeah, there's
So,
not too much to talk about.
like I said, we got the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, and they'll be playing the winner of today's game in the Thunder and Nuggets. Moving on to the Eastern. Moving on to the East.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm gonna pause you right there. I'm gonna introduce this segment here. Um, I know we obviously, we talked about this before, I think on our last podcast episode. Um, but let's talk about how the Cavs and the Pacers series ended
When
and like
and
how
yeah,
you feel about that.
the Pacers, it was 3-1, right? It wasn't over. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, today is really tough, especially today because today should be game 7. But I mean, I I don't know. It's Tyrese Halliburton literally just does nothing all regular season, and then all of a sudden in the playoffs, he turns into freaking prime LeBron James, Michael Jordan. So there's just nothing I could say. But I mean, there was just absolutely zero heart from that Cavs team, and every Cavs fan knows it. You could just tell like they were exhausted, they were tired, they weren't trying. They were up by 20 again, I think. They're up by 19. There's just no heart in this Cavs team. There's no heart in any Cleveland sport. I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole today. I'm gonna just try to stay calm because I don't know, but I mean, you got to give credit where it's due to the Pacers. I mean, they are a phenomenal team. I did not know they were this good. I think they are definitely like, it's crazy to say, but there is a world where it is so possible for the Pacers to maybe win the finals this year.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
everything. They got everything. If they play like they did against Cleveland, there's no reason why they can't win the NBA Finals this year. You got Tyrese Halliburton, who's just been going crazy. Andrew Nemhard has everything he shoots seems to go in. You
Yeah,
got
no, for
Pascal
real, yeah.
Siakam. Pascal Siakam is just one of those guys where like he plays both sides of the ball, and then Miles Turner is yeah. So I mean, the Pacers are definitely a sleeper team against the Knicks. But I mean, there's like I said, there's a world where the Pacers go to the freaking NBA Finals and win it.
I know. And like
So
what's crazy is that we a couple weeks ago we would have thought it was crazy to say that they were even going to make it to the conference finals. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like yeah, they beat the Bucks. All right, cool. Like Dame got hurt, whatever. Giannis didn't have help, whatever. It's okay. Then they're like, yeah, the Cavs. All right, Cavs take care of them, and we're looking at the Cavs playing in the conference finals against either the Knicks or the Celtics. And then this happens, and it opens definitely more than just our eyes. Probably everyone's
yeah.
eyes are like, wow, the Pacers. Like everyone, I feel like everyone knew the Pacers as yeah, just good enough to get to the playoffs, and then they end up losing the playoffs, and they're kind of just a filler
Mhm.
team. But now they're like actually making a run and making a name for themselves. And like you kind of said, like they could very easily go to the
Yeah,
finals and possibly even win it.
they do. They they will out hustle you till there's no tomorrow. They will run the court on you. They will shoot on you. Like, dude, they can do everything. They can literally do everything.
Mhm.
Now,
Oh.
it's been if you're a Cavs fan, you know. Now, obviously, there's no justifying what I witnessed. There's not anything that can justify it. But if you're a Cavs fan and you watch the majority of the games, you know that every time, no matter who you play the Hornets, you play the Wizards, you play the Celtics, you play whoever. For some reason, every time someone plays the Cavs, they shoot like there's no
Crazy.
tomorrow, dude.
I know.
It's insane because like you'll watch every time Cleveland plays the Boston Celtics, say they shoot just crazy numbers, and then like you'll watch them 2 days later, and they're over here shooting terrible, losing to like the Hornets or something. It's so frustrating, and it's just like I said in the last podcast. You never get your hopes up when you're a Cleveland fan because they will always let you down, no matter how good the team is, no matter what they've done. They will always let you down in the long run. So I don't got much more to say. It's all
Yeah,
you
no,
now.
I understand. We briefly kind of mentioned it, but like I just wanted to, like I feel like there's another series where it obviously hits home for you, but like it's just not much more to say other than
Yeah,
Cleveland. You know, like you said, they didn't show too much heart towards the end of the series. Pacers are a slept-on team. Um, and then I feel like this transitions into the Knicks and Celtics here because um you had the Knicks taking the Celtics in this series.
you're freaking right. I had the Knicks
Now
taking
hold
this
on,
series.
hold on, hold
Nah,
on.
come on.
Now hold on now. No, now obviously yeah, you were right and I'll give you props for that. And I don't want this to be like the same thing with the Warriors where well Curry was hurt, that's why they lost. And
Ah,
I don't feel like you can say the Celtics lost purely because of Jason
no.
Tatum being hurt. Because the game he got hurt in with like 2.5 minutes left, right? I think it was something like that.
Yeah,
And he had like 43, I think, at that time, and they were still down. Like
yeah,
you could argue if he didn't get hurt, they still would have lost that game.
yeah. I don't think you can argue anything about the Tatum injury because the Knicks were up 3-1 already before
Yeah.
he got hurt. So I mean, who's you know what I mean? Like I mean, obviously
No, I agree.
you can argue the Celtics would have had a better chance at coming back, but like the Knicks were already up 3-1 when Tatum got hurt.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, at like the Knicks, and here's my thing: Karl Anthony Towns ain't even playing anywhere near his best basketball. And when he does
Yeah, I
start playing his
know.
best basketball, I think this New York Knicks team is gonna win the finals in my opinion.
They could.
They're my top runner for the winning the NBA finals, just
Yeah, I
because
mean
of yeah.
they have such a well-rounded team,
Hmm.
and like you got Jalen Brunson at point guard who could easily drop 35. I
Yep.
feel like, and then you got Josh Hart who I praise Josh Hart all the time. I feel like every team needs a player like Josh Hart. He's 6'4", and at half the time he's the leading rebounder or the second leading right rebounder on the team. Like he's just always doing what he needs to do. He may not drop 20 points, but he'll give you 12, 10, and 8 or something like
Yeah.
that. And his plus and minus will be amazing. And then
Yeah.
you got OG Anunoby. I know you love OG Anunoby,
I
and you
do.
talk
I
about
like him.
how great of an impact he has. And
Hmm.
they got Mitchell Robinson. They got Cat. Like the Mikal Bridges. Like there's such a good team. And yeah, I mean, like you said, you could talk about the Tatum injury and how that affected the series,
Prayers to
but
Tatum, by the way.
yeah,
That's injury you don't want to see.
we're all hoping for a speedy recovery for Tatum.
Yeah.
No
Hate to see
matter who
that.
it is, you never want to see a player go down like
And
that.
this Tatum Kobe stuff is just getting ridiculous. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it now. Don't get me wrong. It's insane how that happened, and
Yes, I know, I
it's
know.
crazy.
Yes, it
But
is.
it's it no. It's you don't do that.
No,
Like
I
you,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
It was
Now,
kind of funny. It was kind of
oh
funny.
yeah, right. It was just now like the NBA finals, all that stuff that was going on. That was hilarious.
That we did it.
Yeah, we did it. The picture with the trophy in the locker room. The what they gonna say now? The what
Yep.
would happen if we didn't win? Like, good gosh, dude. But
Yeah.
but obviously this is something where it's not even comparable. It doesn't. It's still obviously it's. I'm not saying he's the same as Kobe. Like he's trying to copy him because it's crazy injury. Don't want to see that. But it is crazy how
It
that
is crazy how it correlates. Yeah.
3:08 left in the fourth. It's insane. But
Yeah.
yeah, going back to what you were saying about what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just talking about the Knicks, and
Yeah.
like you said, they're your top runner right now,
Yeah.
and um, I knew they were going to be a good team in these playoffs, but they really showed me
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're here to win it.
Something sparked for me. I knew they were gonna get over the hump this year. Now I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're over it yet. They still gotta get to the NBA Finals. Like
They got to
just
beat the Pacers, and the
yeah.
Pacers are
And
another
you
team where it's like
you can't. Yeah.
they're coming from the depths, and they're like really making a point
They
here.
are. But yeah, I mean Brunson. I love Jalen Brunson. The only thing I despise about him is just his foul baiting. But like we
Yeah.
said before, it's all around the league. But Jalen Brunson's a dog. Cal Ridge is a dog. Like this is just a team full of dogs, dude. Even the head coach is a dog. Tom Thibodeau. My
Yeah.
goodness, I'd love to have a coach like him. But what makes it more impressive is that they're going on this run and like they're not even tired. They're playing 40 minutes a game and they just keep going. They just keep
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
It's it's crazy. So I mean, yeah, got the Knicks and Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, and then you got the Timberwolves, and you got thinking the Nuggets. It could be
I hope so.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
It could be Nuggets. Thunder. Jeez, I don't know. I drew a
Yep.
blank there, but yeah, I mean those two series. We're gonna get into these, our little prediction, but starting with the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, like we said, I think it's 50-50, dude. It's really up in the air who
Yeah.
takes this, because the Knicks they would have home court because they're the three.
Yes. Yep.
So I think the Knicks get it done. I'm not gonna say Knicks. I'm not gonna say I'd be shocked if the Knicks win in 5. I can tell you I'm not gonna say that. If I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be shocked if they don't win in 5 is what I meant.
Yeah.
Because last time I said that, it was quite literally the opposite way around.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
yeah.
I think yeah, like you said, it's a 50-50 for the Eastern Conference Finals. I think very likely game 7 out of the series. But you never know. I mean, you never know. Someone could get hurt. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton can go in like a little slump. Jalen Brunson could go in a little slump. Cat could start playing to his full potential and average like 25 and 15 or something like that. So, I don't know. I mean, it all depends. It depends who wants to step up. Now, if we see both these teams at their full potential, easily game 7 in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think game 6
sure.
maybe at the minimum.
Yep.
But if both these teams can play to the maximum ability, I don't see any world where we don't go to a game 7.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I forgot to we forgot to even talk about this in the Knicks Celtics series, but the fact that Jason Tatum did go down and the Knicks went to Boston and they didn't have Jason Tatum and they lost by 20.
Yeah,
Or how
dude.
much they
When
did.
that happened, I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, hold on.
Now I told my friend, I'm like, if the Celtics happen to win Game 6 and tie the series, I think the Celtics would have took it to Boston and end up winning. Now obviously the Knicks didn't let that happen, which shows yeah, I can't think
Yeah.
of the word.
No, I know what you mean, but yeah, no. Whenever that happened, my friend Evan, I was talking to him. I was like, dude, we could see something out of this. And then obviously they lost, and we were talking about how like they just didn't really seem to have what's the word I'm looking for? The Cavs didn't have it either.
Connection, just
Passion, I don't know.
passion,
It-
heart,
yeah,
yeah.
heart. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
weren't. They just didn't seem like their hearts were in it, and I think that's why they end up losing.
Yeah.
Now they also, I don't believe they shot very well that game either.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Obviously, I'm sure in their head they're thinking that, I mean, Celtics without Tatum, we're just going to come in here and just. But clearly that did not happen. But they did end up taking Game 6, which is good to see. Good to see them bounce back and take Game 6. But yeah, going back to what we were originally talking about, Knicks and Pacers, I think I personally got the Pacers. No, not the Pacers, the Knicks.
Yep.
And I don't know. I would say 6.
No,
but
I
it
think
could
that's fair.
easily it could go both ways. It's kind of odd. I've never seen a series where like both teams could really end up sweeping one another if they wanted to. Like the Knicks, I wouldn't be surprised if they swept the Pacers. But then if the
Yeah.
Pacers swept the Knicks, dude, I wouldn't be shocked either. So it's like crazy. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. And like I
Yeah.
said, it depends who steps up. It depends if a team's having a bad game. Like if they play the Pacers how they played the Celtics in Game 5, then it's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
obviously the Pacers could very easily sweep. But I don't know. It's
If
going to
if
be an
the
exciting
Pacers
series.
if the Pacers play like they played the Cavs in Game 4, there's no reason they shouldn't win the NBA Finals.
Exactly. Exactly. So it depends what team shows up that day.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have the Knicks. Who do you got?
Yeah,
You'd say the
I'm
Knicks.
I would say the Knicks, and for me, it's like after the Pacers, they kind of wiped the Bucks, they kind of wiped the Cavs, two teams that
Hmm.
we didn't completely expect them to do that to. Um, Part of me wants to say the Pacers, but I don't know. I just feel like the
You can do
Knicks.
it. We
You know what? I'm saying
go
it.
with it.
I'm
Go
saying
with it.
Pacers in 6. I'm saying
Pacers
it.
in
Pacers
six.
in 6.
Alrighty. I like it. I like it. So I got the Knicks. You got the Pacers.
Mhm.
We'll come next Saturday and next Sunday when we're doing this. We should have maybe 3 games in.
I believe so. Yeah.
So we'll see. So yeah, moving on to the Thun the Timberwolves, and I'm gonna say we'll hit on both. I
Mhm.
think, in my opinion, I think the Timberwolves take both
Either or.
series.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's I personally want a Knicks Timberwolves finals would be
It would feed
legendary,
families.
dude.
It would feed
You
families.
got Karl Anthony Towns going back to Minnesota. You got Dante DiVincenzo coming back to New York
Oh
with
my
Julius
goodness,
Randle coming back to New
dude,
York. You
that would
got
be
Jalen
insane.
Brunson seeking his first ring. You got Anthony Edwards, face of the NBA soon, seeking his first ring. That playoff series would be generational, dude.
I agree.
That's
Oh
so.
my
That's who I
goodness.
want. Yeah, that play.
That I would say that's probably who I would want to. But I'm gonna say that I think the Nuggets take it today, right? Or at
Yeah,
least I hope so. And if the Nuggets do take it today, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 'cause like Rudy Gobert, I don't think is going to be able to shut down Jokic. Like,
no.
obviously, he's a great defensive player, but I don't
Yep.
think anyone can stop Jokic. So,
Hmm.
Jokic is going to do his thing. I don't think Rudy Gobert is going to have that much of a presence in that series. I feel like
Yeah.
even if they play the Thunder, Rudy Gobert's not going to be able to do much.
Yeah.
Because the reason why Rudy Gobert impacted the team so much against the Warriors because they don't have like a solid,
They have
good,
nobody.
competent center.
Quite literally, they have
Exactly.
nobody.
Exactly. So once Rudy Gobert's up against a team with a good center, or like the Thunder, where they have Hardenstein and Chet, I don't think Rudy Gobert's going to basically just disappear.
Who did Timberwolves play in the first round again? I'm like drawing a blank. Oh, they played the Lakers, who also
Yes.
don't have a center.
Exactly.
So we'll see. I mean, obviously Rudy Gobert's done it all season. Not, I mean, obviously he hasn't put up crazy numbers, but he's done well.
Hmm.
But I agree. I mean, he hasn't seen anybody like Jokic yet.
Yep.
So that series will be interesting. But like I said, either way, I think I still got the Timberwolves
Hmm. That's
advancing
fair.
to the finals and
Yeah, I
taking
mean,
on the Knicks. But
yeah. Yeah, no,
I'm hoping.
I'm going to say Pacers for the Eastern Conference, and then for the West, yeah, I mean, if the Thunder win against the
Yeah.
Nuggets today, I think the Thunder go to the finals, right?
Yeah.
If the Nuggets win, like I think if the Thunder win today, I think they beat the Timberwolves in 6. I think I
Yep.
got Thunder in 6. If the
Yeah.
Nuggets win today, especially with Aaron Gordon being out, I I don't know. I might have to take the Timberwolves. So for me, the
Yeah.
winner of today is going to really impact the Timberwolves because yeah, like I said, Aaron Gordon being out, that's
That's
it's
crucial.
gonna hit home for the Nuggets.
Nuggets. Yep.
So I don't know if Jokic is going to be able to do enough to get over the Timberwolves unless his
Hmm.
surrounding cast is able to step up and really
Yeah.
perform. But yeah, if the Thunder win today, I'm saying the Thunder are beating the Wolves in 6. If the Nuggets win today, I'm saying Wolves in 7.
Yep. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, I think got the Timberwolves against both teams.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, my finals would be the Knicks and Timberwolves, which I'm really hoping for, which
That
would
would
be
be
nice.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's pretty much it for the NBA. I got one more thing we're gonna do. I just thought of,
Okay.
but um, to wrap up the NBA, that's pretty much all we got for that. In honor of today's supposed to be the Cavs game 7, I'll probably just go home because they were supposed to play 8, I think. So I'll just go home around 8 o'clock when they're supposed to be playing. I think I'm gonna put on game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, and just
Okay.
watch that again.
There you
But
go. Lift your spirits
yeah,
up
that's
a little
probably
bit.
yeah. So that's all we have for the NBA. We're gonna do one more thing. So all of y'all seen my prediction for the Browns schedule.
Oh yeah. You want me to do mine right now?
Yeah, we're gonna have you do yours, but first we're gonna talk about what I had to say. So I said the Browns were smashing the over on 5.5, and they're
Okay.
finishing 6-11.
Yep.
That like the first 6 games of the season is going to be make or break. Um, in my opinion, the floor for the first 6-7 games is 0-7. The ceiling is 2-5. Yeah, dude, it's rough. They got the Bengals, the Ravens, the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, the Steelers. Which I like I said, they're gonna split with Pittsburgh, just not away.
Hmm.
And then they got the Patriots are a sleeper team this year. I think the Patriots might be pretty decent with Drake May. They brought in Stephon Diggs. They brought in Travion Henderson. They're bringing in defensive guys to help out Christian Gonzalez. But yeah, like the ceiling is probably like 2-5 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not very good. It's not going to be a good season. I'm not going to be very happy come the end of the season, but I am going to be very happy when we have 2 first-round draft picks via the Jaguars. So
There you
which
go.
will pick somebody and just waste their career. So that's my yeah. So I want you now to predict the
All right.
Cowboys. I have the schedule here. Do you want me to read you off the games?
I got it pulled up right now too. Don't worry. I got it.
Okay.
I got it pulled up. Okay, so yeah, so I was excited about this first matchup here against the Eagles. I obviously Eagles coming off the Super Bowl. They did lose some people, but I don't think the Eagles got worse in the offseason.
Yeah. No.
I think they gained some people, they lost some people. I think they pretty much stayed the same.
I
Um,
was shocked when they got rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
yeah, I know that was crazy.
Hmm.
But yeah, so first game of the year, I would love to say we're gonna start off the year with a dub,
In
but
Philly.
in Philly, it's kind of hard to say that. So I'm gonna be reasonable and I'm gonna say
Yeah.
we are gonna see
I'm gonna
first
predict it
game of
with
the
you too.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying first game of the year against the Eagles in Philly, we're gonna lose.
I like it.
You
I
agree with
like
me?
it. Yeah, I definitely agree with
Okay. Yep. And then
you.
obviously,
Saquon was gonna have about 400 rushing yards that game, by the way.
all right, yep, all right. As a Penn State fan, I love to see Saquon thrive, unless it's against the Cowboys.
Just not in that game.
Yep. And then obviously next game we're playing the Giants. Yep, we're beating the Giants. I don't even think I need to say much about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna be better than last year, but not
They
by
will
much.
be. They will be, but I don't think they're gonna be good enough to beat us. Third game, Bears.
The Bears are interesting, dude.
The Bears are very interesting.
Very interesting. They could be very good. They could be really good. They have the talent to be
They
very
could
good.
be.
It's just
The big word there is could. They
yeah,
could
they
be.
could be. Now, okay, yeah. Well,
Well, yeah. So with the possibility that they could be really good, I have confidence. I'm saying we're taking the Bears. In our third game of the season. I think we're going to start off 2-1.
Yeah, dude, the Bears have the potential to be very good, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said before, it's how Dak Prescott plays, how he performs.
I think the first two games of this season is going to depend on whether or not we win the third.
It's in Chicago.
I'm not worried about that.
Give me the Bears.
All right, whatever. All right, so you think we're going to start 1-2, and I think we're going to start 2-1. All right, Game 4 at home, Green Bay. Ooh. The Packers.
28-0, by the way. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. All right, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
I was kind of hoping you were not going to bring that up.
I did. Hey, but you know what? Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah. No. I think at home, especially because I think we're starting the season off 2-1. I think we're gonna have good momentum. I think we win Game 4 at home. I think we start the season off 3-1.
Let me keep track of mine. I have them at 2-2 right now.
Yeah, I got 3-1. 3-1. And then Game 5 against the Jets. I'm not worried about the Jets. We take the Jets.
Now, obviously, the Jets are going to be improved with Justin Fields, but
I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, 4-1 for the Cowboys. Next game, Panthers.
That's a win.
Now,
Panthers are going to be sleeper. If Bryce Young plays how he played the last 5 games of the year, the Panthers have a chance, but a lot better. No, they don't. Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they will be better.
They could perform. Could perform.
But
Cowboys
give me the
Cowboys
take
at 4-2.
Yep, Cowboys. And I have them at 5-1. Next game against the Commanders at home. I love the Commanders-Cowboys matchups. I feel like it's always a good game. My buddy Evan I mentioned earlier, big Commanders fan. Sometimes we watch the games together. This matchup is always tough, especially with how the Commanders played last year.
Dude, they're going to be even better this year.
They're scary, dude. They're scary.
Dude.
I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this game, actually. Now, what I will say is the Cowboys do tend to beat the Commanders. Like, even last year, with how the Cowboys played last year, we still beat the Commanders.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say we're going to beat them at home. Listen, hold on. Hear me out. I think we split with the Commanders. I think we're going to win our game at home, and I think we'll lose our game away. So I'm going to take us winning this game.
I agree.
Okay, there we go. We're good.
I think the Commanders not the Commanders. The Cowboys take that one.
Okay, 6-1 right now. I have us at 6-1. Okay.
Yeah, next game, give me the Broncos.
Ooh. Okay.
I think the Broncos are going to be good this year. I truly believe they're going to be good this year.
I don't hate that. Yeah. I think, obviously,
not good. I think they're going to be mediocre, like the 9-8, 10-7. But I think they're going to beat the Cowboys this year.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will agree with that. I think after going 6-1, we're going to be a little high, and then the Broncos are going to come in at the Broncos in Denver. I think, right there we're 6-2. Then we play the Cardinals at home. I have us beating the Cardinals. I don't see us losing the Cardinals.
Yep,
I have us. What do you have us at?
I got 6-3, which you'd have 7-2.
Yep, 7-2. All right, then we're away at the Raiders. Ashton G&T. Ooh. Now, see, the Raiders, obviously they got G&T, but
just save your breath. Take the Cowboys. The Raiders are going to be trash.
Yeah, all right.
Just save your breath.
Yep, no, definitely got Oh, actually, I'm sorry. We have a bye week in between those two games. So,
it's okay.
Bye week after the Cardinals. Then we play the Raiders. Yep, then we're beating the Raiders. So I got us at 8-2 there.
Yep, and then you're getting swept by the Eagles.
I agree. We'll play them at home. I think we'll lose to the Eagles. Then I have us at 8-3 then.
Yep, and then make that 8-4 because they play the Chiefs the following
against
week.
The Chiefs, and then we play the Lions.
8-4. So I'd have them at 7-5.
Yep, and then we play the Lions. I think
There's
that's another loss. Yep.
I got them at 7-6.
Yep, 8-5 for me, and then we play the Vikings. Whoa, hold on.
Hey, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Them at home. Yep,
I'm taking them
at home too.
8-6.
Yep, I got us at 9-5.
I'm sorry. I got to go with the Chargers here. 8-7. I
Nice.
think the Chargers are gonna be good. They finally get their guy in Amari and Hampton. They still get Lad McConkey back. They get Mike Williams back, which he's not gonna be a crazy asset, but he's gonna work. They bring in Trey Harris from Ole Miss. He's gonna be good. That defense is gonna be good. I think the Chargers are gonna be a very well-rounded team this year. I think the Chargers are gonna be good. Give me the Chargers this game.
I'm have to disagree with you. I'm gonna take the Cowboys here. I think we beat the Vikings, and then we go next game at home again. We beat the Chargers, but then the game after that, when we play away in Washington, I think we lose right there. So, what's that put us at? What do you got us?
Well, that'd put me at 8-8.
And then I got us at 9-7.
Yep.
And then it says we play the Giants, but that's to be determined.
I got them beating them and going 9-8.
Yep. So I got us going 10-7.
I don't think they make the playoffs at 9-8.
Yep.
Because you got the Lions and Packers. The winner, the second place finisher in that division probably has 12 to 13 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing for NFC East. The second place probably has 12 to 13 wins. NFC West, you got the Seahawks. The Cardinals might be a little sleeper team this year. The 49ers are depleted. I don't think they're going to be any good. And the Rams, the Rams obviously could do something. And then you got the NFC South is a dumpster fire.
Wild card.
Yeah, the NFC South is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, we don't gotta talk about the NFC South.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. So I like we said, I got the Cowboys at 9-8. You got them at 10-7. Going back to what I predicted for the Browns, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Okay.
Good.
That 6-11 was my second attempt at that schedule.
Okay.
My first attempt at the schedule, I had the Browns at 9-8. I went over it.
Whoa! What?
Listen, no, let me finish. Let me finish. Had the Browns at 9-8. I looked myself in the mirror and said, "Am I really about to make a video on the Cleveland Browns? Go down a schedule, say they're going to go 9-8, and post it to social media?
So people can see.
Not a chance.
Yep.
Not
there you
a
go.
chance." So I did it again, completely unbiased, and I had them at 6-11, which is a little generous still, but
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Wait, were you feeling okay when you said 9-8? Like,
Well, I had obviously a little bias in me, but
I'm glad reality,
I
checked in with you.
I just didn't want to post that to social media.
I agree. I feel like there would have been a lot of hate comments going towards your way.
Yeah.
Mason, are you blind? Mason, do you even watch football?
Yeah. Typical Browns fan, yeah. But so
All right.
that is all we got today. Sorry, it's a short episode. We're on a bit of a time management. I got a tea time at 2:57.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're also as the NBA playoffs diminish, there isn't as much to talk about.
Less to talk about.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll be posting this tomorrow, maybe even today.
Yep.
We hope you guys have a good day, and thank you for listening to episode 3.
Appreciate it, guys.
See you
See ya.
guys.